Assalamualaikum and very welcome back, dear listeners. You're now tuned into IIUM FM, your favorite campus radio, with me, DJ Aleeya, your host for today's episodes of PsychTalk. Yeah, and we are already in the 12th episodes of PsychTalk. And first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala and also our listeners out there who are consistently looking forward for our new episodes for every week. And without you guys, Side Talk may not continue for these episodes. For those who are may not familiar, what is the Side Talk is about. So actually, Side Talk is a program that dedicated to bridging the gap between our diverse audience that may came from a diverse of background, difference of background, and also there are some psychology students who may wonder about the fascinating world of the psychology. So don't forget to always tune into Side Talk every Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. only at IIUM FM, your favorite campus radio. So yeah, in today's episode, we will go beyond lah from our campus, I want to have you discussions on another university that will also offer the psychology program. And may I ask you guys first lah, our listeners out there, how many university that you know that offer the psychology program? Yeah. And also, I think one of it in your mind maybe is the Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris, because they are also offering the degree in psychology. So that's why we have our special guest who is the alumni of UPSI, which is Miss Kaus Aleeya Sivam. Hi, Miss Kaus, how are you today?
Hi Aleeya, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good. Yeah, good. Do you excited with our sessions today?
Of course, I'm very excited since the first day that you approached like one of my colleagues to share this, especially after I step into this working place. I feel like I have so much things to share to psychology students and maybe graduates.
Yeah. It's so it's so for me it's so honored to have you with us today. And maybe for those who may wonder, who is actually the Miss Kausis? So actually she is the alumni of the Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris, and also she graduated from the Bachelor of Degree in Psychology, and now currently serving as at the Plus Vibe. As the community lead, which she right now recruiting for the psychology train individuals and also guiding them to support others through the Plus Vibe platform. But I think it will be best lah for us to hear from herself to introduce. So Miss Kaus, would you share more about yourself? Especially you are the psychology graduates, and also your maybe some of sharing about your career journey to our listeners out there. Yeah.
Okay, hello everyone once again. So as Aleeya already mentioned to all of you, I'm Kaus Aleeya Sivam, known as Kaus in corporate world right now. Okay, how I started off for psychology career, right? Of course, I think even back then in high school, I realized that psychology is my passion.
Oh.
I can feel that everything studying about human behavior, human nature, is really excites me. But what happened after me continuing my high schools is I stepped and I got offer from Matriculation Negeri Sembilan. I continue my higher studies there. From there, then there's an important stage where you need to do the UPU application, right? Even though I know deep down psychology is my passion, but the worry was there. Is psychology a good platform for me to earn money? How about my future job opportunities right there? Is it available? So with that in mind, what I did was I wanted to do psychology as my dual degree.
Oh.
I wanted to continue first in medical lab tech and then baru nak proceed with psychology because of the afraid, what if I don't get a job later after I graduate, right? So, but then I really believe in destiny. I got my third option, which is UPSI, to continue psychology, and after that, that's where I landed to continue my studies in psychology industry. From there, I would say the 4 years was amazing experience to continue my psychology bachelor's in UPSI, with, of course, a lot of exposure to curricular and extracurricular activities. From there, I started my intern at Plus Vibes Sendirian Berhad. So I would say I am very much blessed in that way, where I have got absorbed by Plus Vibes after that. And currently, I'm serving as community lead in Plus Vibes, where I specifically focus on recruiting, onboarding, and training psychology professionals. So that's what I'm currently doing.
Yeah, but actually, I am new to hear about Plus Vibe, and also I figured out in the internet, Plus Vibe is a one of like mental health app, right?
Yes.
So, could you like introduce to us what is actually the Plus Vibe, and also how it's being impactful for us, especially for the psychology students? Yeah.
I'm very much glad to share about that particular thing, because I'm currently like with Plus Vibes for 2 years, and of course the passion drives me more to serve there. So what is Plus Vibes? Is actually, it's a mobile mental health application. We developed this app, like the founder is local. They developed this app during COVID, because back then in COVID, anything that you want to approach, like a mental health professional, or like even a support, or even to get some sort of support or motivation from your loved one was hard, because you was under PKP quarantine, and you cannot see people. So that's why it was wholly digitalized on demand. And the main concept was you would get connected to a Viber who's also named as qualified listeners in just 2 minutes. So the main concept is anonymity, because people nowadays don't want to share their emotions. Sebab segan, what would people think about me? Or else, even in men's, the major concern is I don't want to be a burden to someone else, right? So when it's a Viber, you don't know who them are, and they are not going to know who are you. So this may break the barrier, and this gives a positive perspective for mental health and self-development. So that's the major aspect, where more towards self-development, you can express your thoughts, your emotions, and whatnot. And now we are also like branch out to book a specialist, where we have like clinical psychologists, counselors, life coaches, nutritionists, because it's about mental wellness, right? So that's how we are like slowly building the community to give a more aware and destigmatize mental health to people.
Yeah, I think it sounds interesting, and also how like our, maybe there's the career, one of the career path for the psychology students, not only for maybe from the UPSI psychology students, and also maybe from a lot of university out there who are they're from the psychology students. Okay, so in this topic, I think is interesting lah, because we are at actually the bridging the how we are understand from the psychology students life at IIUM, and also with the UPSI, and also we want to like discuss what is difference, what we share together the same. So I think we will take a break first, and let's listen to the song. We will continue our discussions after this song. Okay, this is Hi My Fam, your favorite campus radio. Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Welcome back to PsychTalk with me, DJ Aleeya, and also we are having a guest that who is graduates from Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris, Miss Kaus. Again, how are you again?
I'm doing good, and I'm excited to share more about the psychology course.
Yeah, let's go. So, and also thank you so much for being with us, especially in our today's topic lah. So, we will delving into the our topic, psychology students' life at IIUM versus UPSI. What is the difference, and also what is shared? Okay, so we move to our first questions for today's for ni. Okay, so Miss Kaus, what is actually what inspire you to pursue a degree in psychology, especially at you choose Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris as your degree, your place for degree, and also is there any particular experience, person, or passions that influence your decision in studying psychology at UPSI?
Okay, it's very interesting and sentimental question, I would say, because like how it drives for psychology firstly is, of course, I lost my dad when I was 10.
Wow.
Okay, yes. So when I was, of course, when we was grieving, at the same time, like I think fast forward after 5 years, I was seeing and I was analyzing how my different part of family, like my mom, my brothers, was accepting this situation and do the grieving. And I can see how the loss of my dad impacted like me, my first brother, and my youngest brother, because we were like different age group. And so from there I was like trying to understand, so this is how your environmental factor, even though you belong to like same family, you belong like same blood group can be, but how it's going to be impacting you in different scenario when you are brought up in certain way. So since like I lost my dad when I was 10, I think the resilience level and the way that I see things is totally different. And from that, of course, that's a very small hint that I got, that I have the strong love or passion towards understanding about human. And of course, I do realize when as I growing up, more friends really wants to like share their maybe like their sorrow, their happiness. It can be anything about them personal life. And whenever they share with me, I can feel a sense of relief from them side, as well as I feel like how to say, complete or macam purpose tu dah ada dah. I feel like, wow, that's very good thing that I can be a safe space for people to rent out or vent out their emotions. So from these are the some things that I got to self-aware about myself. At the same time, public speaking and like, you know, this presenting things has always been my forte. So when I want to choose my career path, that's when of course I did my like talking with my teacher. So one of them suggested that it's either psychology or teaching can be your platform, because you can still interact with human, you can like analyze humans, you can be around humans. So my smart brain thinks, like I was like doing my researches, and then I found out like, hey, in UPSI they got teaching and they have psychology course. So what if I continue my psychology there, so I can like do both, but of course it's a misconception. You cannot be both in UPSI. If you continue your bachelor's in psychology, it's an open market. You are not going to be a teacher. You need to continue some sort of like licensing, or there's some certain stages for you to become a teacher. But of course that's what made me to choose UPSI. And of course I had like several other options like UKM and I'm not sure, like UTM for UPSI courses. But again, this was the course. This was my option that I got.
Yeah, actually it's so interesting because you already have this spark of interest in pursuing, like go into the analyze, like studying about the human side is from the 10 years. I'm so sorry for like hearing that you lost your dad at the 10, like at the age young, but actually it's inspiring me because from the your experience, like you seeing how your siblings are like grieving differently, right? So I think it's very inspiring that how you the interest is sparked like at the young age. And also I also have the misconceptions on that also, and is like my thought that if the psychology students are from UPSI, is that they could teach others, but I think it's same like other university also, because we have to do the license, and also if we want to go to the, I think the school, we need to like go to the DPLI, which is the latihan on the school perguruan. So for me it's interesting on that. Okay, so during your studying in UPSI, can you share for us how your psychology syllabus at UPSI? Because I want to know lah, is it different from us at IIUM? So could you share for us first?
Okay, for sure. And this is definitely that I would like to discuss as well, so people out there would know like what are the options that they have, right? I think, of course, I did my personal study. I understand that if it's at UIA psychology course, the touch of Islamic perspective is there, right? And it's really fascinating because especially like where I'm working now, the people usually looking for like, if they are like Malay, they would look for Malay specialists because the understanding, the cultural barrier is not there, right? So it's very much important to have that perspective. If you ask me in terms of Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris, right? I would just like to ask, do you guys have like research method 1 and 2?
From my batch, from previous they only have one research method, but from us it start from two. We have to take twice.
I think now they understand the importance because this like fun fact about me, like maths is not my favorite subject. I stepped into psychology because I thought like maths is not going to be there, and then they introduced like research method 1 and 2, right? But I would say that it's the plus point of the psychology courses because it's not the elective or it's not an elective or sub-subject. It's like core subject that you need to take if you're a psychology student. So why I would say it's important is it's important for you to settle your final year project, and wherever you go as a psychology student, if you want to prove a fact that this is what I'm thinking and this is true what I'm thinking is from your research, from your like chapter 1, chapter 5, from your final year project or like research, right? So these subjects really help me to know understand what is SPSS, how to calculate the standard deviation and stuff. And I think mostly other than that, the courses are pretty much same, like social psychology, positive psychology. But what is, I would say, added on point for UPSI is, especially if you are interested to do teaching, right? You have more exposure to that. Yes. So, for example, I'm a psychology student, but I took like teaching science for young adolescents, teaching English for young adolescents. So from there, of course, you're not licensed to be a teacher, but you get to know like, for example, what is RPH, like what are the things that you need to settle for, like, you know, to teach people. And especially even if it's not about the protocol to teach students, it moves towards like how you can construct a module or a teaching guideline according to the audience. So how am I using that now is, since I mentioned to you I'm plus vibes, we are doing like trainings, workshop to use audience. It can be varied audience. It can be exact levels, suddenly it can be DGMs. So we need to construct a module that is specifically for them, that can be understood by them. And of course, psychology is like a very science-based terms. So you need to make sure that you put into words that a layman can understand, right? So I think in that perspective, the touch of educational perspective is very special in terms of UPSI courses.
I find interesting on that because actually from us, we are not on the educations, but we are more, I think our lecturers out there is more like ask us to like more to be thinker, means that we have to like think, and also we are more to the research. So that's why we are almost like everything is also based on scientific. And also I agree also that with the strong background of the research method, and also here we have like statistic. Also we have to take twice statistic 1, statistic 2, and also we have to do the assessments and experimental. So this is, I think this is the technical courses is very like, for me is very prepared for me for the FYP. May I ask you if like in psychology in UPSI, do you have to do the internship or just
yes, internship is a must. You would be doing internship in your semester 8, which is your final semester. And you would need to do 3 months of internship. I hope the structure is still the same since 2023. But 3 months of internship.
It's same with our previous batch, but starting from my batch, we are start to not having internship. So we are more focused on FYP as our final assessment lah for final year. but it's still the same. The department still if you want to go the internship, they can like go, but they are no credit on that lah. But because of that, because they want us to like focus more on the FYP and also do the research base lah. And also you say before that we are more on Islamic perspective, yeah. So I want to share also my perspective on how the psychology in IIUM. So basically, as like the name is International Islamic University, so we are more touched on into the Islamic perspective. Basically, we are studying the psychology. At the same time, we are studying about our God itself, so himself. So we are studying about how the powerful he is, how he the creation itself is actually reflects to him. So we are learn that actually from that, actually we can it's help us to increase our devotion and also our belief on him, because I think it's very like, for me it's this value is very important. And especially me and also my colleagues is from we are from Muslims. So I think with this knowledge, I think it's not only applicable for the psychology students, but also we can advocate more on that to all people. And also I think and also we focus on the soul. So we are not just like studying about the soul, about from the human from the Islamic, but also we are studying from what the previous Greek Greek myth, like Greek philosophy like Aristotle, Plato. Actually it's very, for me it's very philosophical and very, for me it's very complicated because it's too philosophical, but at the same time it's so, I think it's, when we understand, I think it's so like, I feel breathtaking, like macam
an awakening,
yeah,
right?
So very new to me. And also I believe that, oh, this knowledge is not from right now. It came from like from the previous century. Even though in the future I believe that the soul, about the soul itself, is still, these discussions is still ongoing. And also there's a lot of things that we can learn about our souls, because our soul is ourself, right? So I learned a lot of that. So I think that is the difference, right, between UPSI and also IIUM. And also I think maybe for maybe we can like learn each other about our UPSI,
yes.
and because that maybe there are some listeners out there who might interested on like more going to the educations and educate, to be the educator with the psychology background. So maybe for those who are listeners out there who want to know more, maybe you can contact directly to the Miss Kaus to know more. Okay, so and also, is there any like unique course or modules at UPSI that you feel very like stand out and also you impact to yourself in the personal experience ke?
Unique causes. In terms of, if you ask me unique causes, I would say psychology itself is like a very unique cause, which is, I feel like the one of the subject that one of the course that you can apply wherever and whenever, because it's understanding about humans, emotions, environment and everything, right? So I would say it's mostly the social psychology, positive psychology, developmental psychology, and I have like this very huge interest in developmental psychology, where you would learn in each stages of life, especially like from the young baby to like the adult, the teen, and during the like 5-6 years, you know, the stages. It's very important for development. I'm pretty much sure that maybe our parents didn't aware about that. They just know like, okay, like they're kids now, but they were doing indirectly, even without understanding this concept. So for example, this like one fun fact, 0 years to 2 years, it's when we develop mistrust versus trust.
Yeah, trust,
Yeah, I think you know pretty much also, right? So this is the age where a baby would guess, would understand if I can trust the people around me or not. If absent parents, this make the kid or the baby develop the untrust with humans. They don't attach with humans. So it's, I think, it's a lifelong learning for me, psychology. Like even if I have kids one day, or
Yeah.
even like my friends or my family, I can always tell them like, of course I know like zaman sekarang, the technology, the economy is like rising, and all the parents, both the parents need to be out there to work, to raise. But at the same time, it's very much important to spend time with your family,
Yeah.
right? So this is the understanding that I got from psychology. At the same time, I would say the understanding about humans, for example, right? Like my manager's like very cool manager, and suddenly this one morning she is just getting angry with anything, like, you know. So from that, I won't take it personally, because I know like something would have been wrong,
Yeah.
or this have been impacted from some situations that already happened before. So this tend to allow me to control my emotion, to regulate my emotions better. And I think it just like hands on hand, like we would get more exposure to coping mechanism, like different coping
Yeah.
mechanism, right? Like my coping mechanism would be sleeping or journaling, because of course the stressor is always there. It's about how you're going to let out, right? I have learned enough, and I have learned good techniques from, of course, UPSI psychology course on how I can deliver these methods to people around me, so that they can maintain a good wellness and mental health situation as well.
Yeah, and also I agree that from based on what I learned in the classroom and also on my course, I see the surrounding more better. Means that I more understand on why she or he behave on
certain
that.
way,
Yeah,
right?
so I become more understand. Also, yeah, again, it's actually help us in regulate our emotions, and also or the coping itself. Yeah,
Yeah, even to like calm ourselves, right? It's very easy, because you know, oh, like my mom won't be mad every time. If she's mad, that means I messed up somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we take a break first. Let's listen to the song. This is IIUM, your favorite campus radio. Assalamualaikum and hello again, listeners. You're now tuned into PsychTalk with me, DJ Aleeya, and also with our guest today, Miss Kaos. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, so let's continue again on our discussions about the psychology student life at IIUM versus UPSI, and what is the difference and what we are share. So in the early of our slide, we already mentioned about our what the Miss Cow is inspired to study on the psychology at UPSI, and also we are sharing our about our syllabus from IIUM and also with the UPSI. Yeah. So in this slide, Miss Kaus, is there any limitations in the syllabus or facilities at your university, UPSI, and which is you think that it's need to be improved, especially in developing the students' learning experience at UPSI? Yeah.
Very good question. Let me think. Of course, I think the definitely a key for improvement in terms of UPSI psychology course, right? I would say it would be better if we have more student exchange program, because currently, of course, the information, the cultural understanding of Malaysia, maybe even here we have multiracial community. We have like Malays, Chinese, Indians, Sabahan, Sarawakian, and there were quite number of Sarawak and Sabah students in UPSI psychology course, and it's very fascinating that way. But when it's abroad, it's a different state, different country, right? The understanding about different culture is there. So the norms here, because here we of course we are not that much westernized, and we still have the spiritual connection here higher compared to any other communities.
Yeah.
But when it's in a different country, it's totally it would be awakening awakening exposure to all the students. Oh, this is how it works here, and you cannot expect people to respond in a certain way, because for example here a tone from certain decibel level can be considered as they are angry and they are rude. Maybe in some countries it's just casual, it's just normal, they're just talking. So it's pretty much important. And I think even in my university there were lecturers who constantly asking us if there is an opportunity for you to continue your studies overseas. Of course, local studies is best, but if you had exposure, if you can maybe spend like, you know, sometimes the summer break or something to maybe do like a involuntary internship, it would be a very great thing, I would say.
Yeah, okay. I'm agree also, because I think from the exchange itself, actually we are learning on how they are the behavior, the behavior of other culture, yeah. And also that's also the psychology, which is we are learning about them also. Okay. And also in our university, also exchange, I think is quite not like always lah, because also I think there is some like limitations on, especially in the local universities. And also I want to maybe and also here at IIUM, we actually shorten staff and also lecturers. So that's why we have a little number of psychology intake. But from my batch, they are start to take 100, but before this they only take like 50 only students, because we are shorten staff and stuff lah, which is lecturers. So I think it's very like and because of that we are like having difficulties in registering the class because of that lah. But I hope that maybe if even though the numbers of staff is could not lah, macam kita tak boleh nak ubah tu kan. Tapi at least I think with the valuable ataupun how the lecturer passions on that, even though there are a lot of numbers of people, even though they are shortened, I hope that at least our students are very grateful on that. I think they are so like I'm so salute on my lecturers, because even though like they are short like sikit, but they are still can like accommodate to all of our secondary students, yeah.
Especially all your question in middle of the night.
yeah, I'm agree also. Okay, so I think and UPSI is this team with us? No,
in terms of staffs.
Yeah.
Okay, if you ask me numbering, I'm not very sure, because we do have master's program in UPSI psychology, right?
Same.
We have clinical psychology, so the number of staffs is enough, I guess. And we have, of course, the combination of we have local and international lecturers, and that would be another added advantage as well, because they would share some of the stories that they experience in their countries, and some of the lecturers, even local lecturers, they continue their studies somewhere like Germany or something like that, so they would share, oh, this is how the culture there, and this is why it's important for you to know the cultural difference. So yeah.
Okay, and also we also have the master program at IIUM, and for the psychology they are focusing on industrial organizations, clinical, and also the new one is developmental.
That's great. Quite number of options.
Yeah. I'm looking forward in the master too. Yeah. Okay, so let's be moving forward on discussing about each other university uniqueness of the psychology courses itself. So as like in IIUM, I already mentioned that we are emphasized on implement Islamic perspective in our syllabus, and also we are very familiar on the concept of soul itself. Yeah. So from the UPSI, is there any unique values or qualities that you believe that is set apart from similar programs? Yeah, that that very impact or shape your personal growth?
I would say the touch of more hands-on and activity-based learning. I would say nearly every subject that you take needs some sort of connection with external party. Not only psychology students. You need to sometimes step outside of maybe like maybe it's still inside your campus, but it's not psychology students. So one of the thing that I can remember is you need to pick a student and you need to do behavior modification. So yes, that's important for you to remain ethical, that you cannot choose your friend, because then your friend would give you like a fake information. So it was showing me the importance of being ethical in conducting that. And at the same time, there were also situations where we need to maybe like conduct interview for clinical psychologists. So that's when I get to know the importance of networking because like you are a student and how are you supposed to connect with a clinical psychologist suddenly, right? You know where there. But thankfully, like I had like a back of my memory, I know that in my high school there was this particular clinical psychologist who normally visit to do some sort of talks. So from there I tried to connect with my friend and a mutual friend, and then try to get his number, and then that's how we scheduled all this thing. Especially it was during COVID, and it really, like how to say, it make us more resilient because everything now, yes, things become like fully on demand. You can do like Google Meet, it's much more easier. But back then, that's when you are starting to explore. How am I supposed to send a Google Meet invitation? What to do if this person didn't attend? So like we were facing all that at the same time. We were successfully, and we tried to understand like what is the professional way for me to like communicate with this clinical psychologist. What are the terms that I can use? How am I supposed to give certain things in like a good procedure, so they no need to do it twice or thrice, you know? So all this understanding, it's very much helpful for this workplace, especially the workplace that I'm currently working. As I already mentioned to you before, we do a lot of wellness event. We do this wellness retreat for, it can be for corporate employees, it can be for university. Even like recently we went to like UITM, Unimas, to spread more awareness. So during this time, all the skills that I got from UPSI, especially during this all this hands-on activity, really gives me impact where I can quickly like take decision when it's if it's something went wrong, like what if the speaker is not here, what I can do, and how I can quickly like fix the agenda, how I can quickly fix a deck when a mistake is happening on spot on live. So it make me more help me to work under pressure, to become more professional in handling things, and like more understanding. It really helped me, I think, to structure or shape me who am I today.
Wow, it's so interesting because how you have already like having an experience on hand, going to the external, even though from I think from the degree itself, so you already prepare for the career future with your experience during your degree. Oh, it's so interesting because even here, even though I'm in just second year, second sem, but most of I know about our assessment is more on insight. But still we need to like go on hands experience, but just like among the IIUM. But there's one course I think is physiological psychology. I think this assessment that we are just doing too is new lah, because I think I'm not here from the previous batch, but we are just start to do the research outside of the UAE. Means that we need to go outside to do a research about the physiology and also about the intervention. So I already do with my my group mate. We are doing for to see the physiological changes on the reading on the level of the reading anxiety from the dyslexia students. So we went to the Genius Dyslexia Center at Titi Wangsa. I think we just do 2 weeks ago. We go there, see the children who are dyslexia, and we give them a reading task to see is there any physiological changes between the before and after. And also we need to do intervention, which is we do the breathing techniques. It's for me it's so interesting. At the same time, it's so hard because we need to like contact and also deal with other parties outside of UAE. But at the same time, it's very like for me, it's very interesting for me to get the on-hand experience and also prepare for any upcoming I think the upcoming semester, I think it is more tougher. I think they want to do assessments, so I
True.
already get ready on that, and I hope that we share the same thing, which is we get on hands experience more, and also prepare for the future career with, I think, more preparation lah from our assessments during our studying in the psychology at UM and also UPSI.
Yeah. Even then now I'm seeing Aleeya, like you communicated with like one of our team. You managed to find someone from external.
Yeah,
Good.
and also I think I saw extracurricular is very important lah
Yes.
in preparing us, right? So as like we already mentioned about extracurricular, I think I want to introduce to our listeners out there that Miss Kao is also one of committee member of the psychology committee at UPSI, which calls Psych UPSI, and also I think you are already served as 2 tenure.
2 terms, yeah.
2 terms. So I think you guys already conduct or organize events, psychological related events. I think quite numbers, right, during your as a committee member. So could you share during your time as a committee member, is there any programs or events that you guys organized actually it's can raise awareness about the psychology among UPSI students, and also maybe its impact to you yourself as personal experience, and also for the overall UPSI community. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I have been one of their exco. I'm from Welfare Bureau. If I remember vividly. Yes. But of course, all the bureaus during that time we were expected to do some sort of event.
Yeah.
It's not really it's not compulsory to be related to your bureau. It can be any events, and it should be emphasizing on mental health and psychology, right? So one thing that I can remember is we got this Skipansi. It's Skipansi competition. Yes. Why I'm remembering it? It's a personal touch where people will write about their personal struggles anonymously. So that was the highlight there. So I think even the tagline was something called Bagaimana saya jatuh and Bagaimana saya bangkit. Something around there. I'm not very sure, but yeah. How this impacts me personally is, of course, reading to this different stories really make me realize like people are going through a lot. People are going through a lot silently. Even during that writing, they mentioned that this is something that I'm first time ranting out. When I'm writing this, my tears like literally falling out. So that's when I realized, of course, you have a lot of friends, you have family, but sometimes you are just afraid of the judgment. Or maybe you just don't want to burden others. So when we give this perfect opportunity, and of course we didn't limit this for psychology because we opened this for entire UPSI, and also we open for public actually at that time. So it's just that registration fee a bit different. But yeah, so from there we can see different situations like relationship issues, parenting issues, how like one of this particular student, this is something that I still remember, that he lost most of his family members back to back. Yeah. So this really give me a sense of blessed in a way that you are like doing a good, like sometimes you know how we worry about oh, my hair didn't turn out good, I didn't had a good hair day, but people are suffering with more issues back out there. So it's awakening, I mean it's a eye opener for me in that way. And in terms for the writer pula, they have the all how to say the courage to open up, and it's like a relief moment for them, because they already suppress this emotion for longer time, and mostly nowadays, like you know, the heart attacks or any kind of mental health disorders that have been worsened is because you are suppressing the emotions. So this Kipansi really got a good number of participation, which we continue for Kipansi 1.0, 2.0. I'm not sure about the 3.0, but since I was there, that was like till 2.0. And really got some good how to say active participation. It's from the students, it's from staff, from public. So yeah, that is one of that. And another thing that also a part of like my bureau's personal engagement was we did a talk on financial management.
Oh.
It can be like you think like, oh, psychology course, like why financial management? But like now currently, especially with this growing economy, most of your mental health issues is coming because you don't manage your finance properly. Because the inflation is going up, you need to know how you manage your finance, even from you being a student, how you can slowly start to save, and once you start your workplace journey, how you can like maybe like how to say invest somewhere or do this trading things, you know. So we try to incorporate a lot of wellness aspects, and yeah, that are the things that I would say it's influenced and impacted a lot of community in UPSI.
Well, it's so interesting because how your bureau is actually create a event that very impactful, even though not from only you but also the other students out there. Okay, I think I want to discuss more on behind of your university and also your participations and psychology committee, and also I want to share more about myself. So I think we can take a break first and listen to the song. This is IIUM, your favorite campus radio. Assalamualaikum and welcome back to our program PsychTalk with me DJ Aleeya, and also with our guest today, Miss Kaus, who is alumni of Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris in psychology. Okay, we continue our last discussions, which is already in the previous slot. We are already discussed about Miss Kaus I think contributions, and also how she participates on as the psychology committee at UPSI, and also she's sharing that she conduct a program that names Kipensi, which is the anonymous writing, yeah. And it's so interesting because even here also we collect the several stories from students anonymously, but at the same time we feature it in in our Instagram stories. So we like we mentioned there's a selected stories that we want to share. Maybe can give I think inspiration to this psychology students who are follow our social media. So we are collecting that, and also we are they already do the second, I think second for its name Psych Diaries. Yeah, Psych Diaries.
Interesting name.
Yeah, you can check out our social media PsychTalk. So it's in the highlight Instagram. Yeah, we already feature on that. And also I am the director of the media engagement information disseminations. So basically usually this bureau is we are not conducting any event because we are the one who need to go every event because we need to cover the media. But in this tenure I want to make something different, which is I want to create the memories, something valuables with my committees, media, and also we are starting. We already start doing publishing the podcast under the name Psychcast. So actually the podcast itself is under the Psychstar with a collaboration with IIUM FM also. So we are planned to have 4 episodes of podcast, but for now we are already published 1 episode, which is we publish on the early May. So if you interested, you can check out our YouTube PsychStar, and also it's the first episode we talk about the behind of the story of our prophets about resilience with the psychology elements lah, with our lecturer with he sharing lah, and help us in understanding about that topic. So actually it's very interesting because it actually is before this they already do the podcast, but this tenure we do the virtual, means that it's also having the visual. At the same time we publish at YouTube visually, at the same time we publish at Spotify audio. So
Actually, it's very interesting, to be honest, to
Yeah.
see, even like, because I was checking out your I think Spotify account that you
Yeah,
shared to me. Because all the topics were well picked.
Yeah.
Right, it's something that
Yeah.
if I were a psychology student, that would be really beneficial for
Yeah.
me. So kudos to you and your team.
Yeah, I'm very grateful to hear that, because I believe that even I believe that the knowledge that I want to advocate, and also how what I'm doing between, even though in IIUM and also with the SiteStar, I hope that at least it could contribute to the someone, even though not only for the psychology student but also other courses. Even though my friends are from communications, they are very like glad and they are very support me in continuing in for the side talk. So actually side talk is a second season. So basically in the previous semester we are already done, but in this is the second season lah of side talk. So I already almost 1 year with the side talk.
That's a great achievement,
Yeah.
Aleeya.
Yeah, okay. So I think for the final discussions, because I think we want to wrap up. Before we wrap up, is there any advice that you want to give to SPM leavers who might be uncertain about choosing the psychology as their course? Yeah.
Okay. A piece of advice. I would say it's more towards like sharing, lah, right? Because I would think if this was already told to me before when I was a SPM leaver, I would be brave, like even more braver to take the decision to continue my my studies in psychology. It is, the demand is already there.
Yeah.
So grab it right now. Because of course, if you ask me back then, 10 years before, are people aware about psychology? Are people aware about mental health? Are they okay to talk about it? Maybe it's not there. But ever since COVID, the importance, they know, oh, if I'm going to suppress it, I'm going to like face it. Or they are very, like current generation, they are really aware about themselves, and they know if there's something going around with them, it's going to impact others. And even if you feel like, what can be promising my job opportunity in future, currently in Malaysia, adolescents' second leading cause of death is suicide.
Suicide, yeah.
Suicide. Adolescents, like, why they need to suicide? They don't even like, maybe some of them not even exposed to the financial crisis out here, but it's because the awareness, the mental pressure, and especially the generational difference is there. And of course, current limitation is of course the clinical psychologist is not enough. Is, if I'm not mistaken of the ratio, it's like one clinical psychologist to 980,000 public in Malaysia, just about Malaysia. So the opportunity is always there. And if you want to continue your passion or your working industry in psychology, I won't say it's not limited to clinical. It is more than that. And of course, it's like, if it's not clinical, it's HR it is, right?
Yeah.
But even in HR, they are like trying to rebrand it, because HR nowadays like not really perceived well. So their rebranding is like employee engagement, people development, where when you learn psychology, it's an added advantage for you to get into this the sub departments. At the same time, my final piece of advice, even for myself, my future self, is constant lifelong learning. Especially if you studied psychology, the generational difference is keep on coming. Like if you think, if the generation gap between boomers and Gen Zs is high, it's very much hard to close this gap. Think about Generation Z with Generation Alpha, Beta, where they're already exposed to different culture, like fully westernized culture, AI technology. They are talking to ChatGPT nowadays. So you need to constantly update yourself with knowledges, psychology-related knowledges. It can be like current trends, like what they're having, so that you can sustain in this industry. So yeah, I feel like currently at this moment, psychology is a very purposeful industry for you to choose in. So I currently feel content. I wish more psychologists, like those who have passion towards psychology, really find the good path, and let's excel together and make this place a better place to live in.
Okay, so thank you so much for the practical and also insightful, I think, not advice, sharing, yeah, sharing, and also maybe benefit for our SPM leavers who are may uncertain about pursuing the psychology. But I hope that from her sharing can at least boost your motivations to pursue on psychology. Okay, just like that, we already come to the end of another enlightening episode of PsychTalk, Psychology Students Life at IIUM with UPSI, and what is different and what is shared. So again, we thank you so much for Miss Kaus for being with us today, and for our listeners out there, we will be back again next week with another exciting episodes of PsychTalk. Okay, so until then, this is DJ Aleeya signing off from IIUM FM, your campus radio. Take care and stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aleeya, for having me today.
Yeah, thank you.